After working my way through the marathon that was Shadow of the Erdtree, and more importantly, resetting my sleep schedule after a few days of degeneracy, I came out of the self-imposed media blackout surrounding anything Elden Ring. FromSoft titles are best experienced blind on a first playthrough, you know? I opened up the usual suspects, mostly YouTube and Reddit, ready to see what shiny tidbits I missed, figure out where I broke a few quest chains, and get the vibe of overall sentiment at the end of release weekend. My God, what happened here? It's like that scene from Dark Knight where the Joker chats up the mob bosses before introducing them to inventive pencil storage methods. Steam reviews are mixed, YouTube is a mixed bag, arms race of outrage bait and attention-grabby titles on one side, and people legitimately enjoying things quietly on the other. Nothing new there, I suppose. Nature of the platform for now. Subreddit is... well, never mind. Subreddit is basically just being a subreddit. Seriously, y'all. Redditors make finding fault with something they like a pro league sport. No true Redditors or something like that. When I look around, there's a few common refrains in the review bombs and salty chatter. First, performance issues on PC. Second, complaints about the difficulty of bosses. Specifically the first and last, weirdly. Already a weird phenomena in a series known for its difficult bosses. Third, feelings of progression, specifically the scatter tree fragments and spirit ash torrent fragments instead of, bog standard character levels. To keep things retaining some semblance of organization here, let's talk about each of these in order. PC performance. For perspective, I played the DLC on PC in 1440p. I can't really tell the difference between 1440 and 4K. Eyes aren't what they used to be. Let's be clear, my PC isn't amazing. The 3080 is not a new card anymore. Even with streaming or recording, what I'd wager was 80 to 85% of the playthrough, I was pegged 60 FPS like clockwork. I can't really speak to the performance problems people note because I didn't experience it. Now that's not to dismiss these complaints. Hardly. If you're getting performance problems and you meet the hardware requirements FromSoft gives, by all means, be loud about that, and you should be able to get refunded. In this case, the software isn't performing as advertised for you. Get a refund and wait for a patch before you come back. Steam, at least, will still honor refunds after 2 hours of playtime if you note these issues and describe how much time you spent in-game and out troubleshooting. I did that with Thymesia. There was no pushback at all from Steam. The concepts of difficulty and progression are related in my mind, so it makes sense to me to speak to these complaints together. Now, I'm not sure how many of these people are new to the genre, so maybe they don't know. FromSoft DLC is notoriously more difficult than the base game they're attached to. That's why I leveled up a new character specifically for the DLC, instead of coming into it in New Game +2 or +3. Speaking frankly, after finishing the last boss, I don't think I'm skilled enough as a player right now to beat him on NG +3. Hell, I even included a very, very small portion of my deaths there on the final video of the playthrough. Outside of Radon, though, I don't think I spent more than 5 to 8 pulls on any of the bosses I found, including the optional ones. I two-shot Mesmer. The carrion knight with the greatsword in the castle is probably the enemy with the second highest kill count on me. First being Radon, obviously. That sucked. Honestly, I don't have a problem with his damage. It's the subtle variation to animations and perpetual chains in Phase 2 that become problematic when paired with his model and the camera boss. I feel like many of the people with these complaints are in the same camp that spirit ashes or summons are cheating. First, FromSoft put these systems into the game. Not like Miyazaki is going to come to your house and kick your dog if you use Mimic Tier. Random nerds online aren't either. These are tools that exist within the system of the game, which in turn is designed with them in mind. We're not in the Dark Souls days anymore. Quit acting like it. Choosing to not use all the tools at your disposal is a cool thing for challenge runs, where you're stretching your skill. Maybe, just maybe, some of these players need to be a bit more honest with themselves about their skill levels, or at least experience the game in its entirety before deciding on a challenge run. In terms of character progression, Miyazaki has said in interviews that they wanted players to feel that sense of wonder and character development as they fight through environments which will challenge them when contrasted with the base game. Rumors everything was Millennia tier, founded the week leading up to release. And honestly, going from your super OP I delete gods build with hyper armor that nukes everything from orbit into the DLC and getting humbled is just that. Humbling. Things would be so very, very dull in the DLC if we raffle-stomped our way through the Lands of Shadow like everything were soldiers of Godric. FromSoft titles have always made you earn your victories. Each title does so in its own way, sure, but they always make you work and bleed for it. This is where the meme comes from. Get good. Get good isn't a dunk, it's recognition of improving your skill level through hardship and growth. You're missing the point if you want to skip that. I've been BaldSquid. We all get good together.